Hi there and welcome along to the podcast. I'm your host, Zayn, Nabbi, and today we bring you a very special edition of the show from Durban, my hometown where I'm visiting. I wish this pod was coming to you in happier times, but South Africa has been in the midst of a natural disaster after the province of KwaZulu-Natal suffered devastating floods, leading to 400 deaths, some 4,000 homes destroyed, and countless people displaced. In this time, football really is secondary to what's going on, but it's also a time where clubs can play a leading role in supporting communities. That's why today I'm speaking with Phumlani Dube, AmaZulu's Community Relations Officer, about how the mighty Usuthu are trying to play their role during this trying time. Phumlani, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm okay, Zayn, and thank you for having me on your show. I hope you are okay too.
No, good. Phumlani, the floods have been devastating. They've impacted everywhere. You're coming to us live from AmaZulu's headquarters in the magnificent Moses Mabhida Stadium. Before we talk about the club, before we talk about some of the initiatives, I just wanted to ask you, how are you and your loved ones doing during this trying time?
It's a very difficult period for everyone in the city of Durban, in KwaZulu-Natal and South Africa. This is a very bad situation. We have never experienced anything like this in our lifetime. I'm told this is one of the worst natural disasters in South Africa since the 60s, or in 60 years. So that tells you how bad this really is. It's bad. Once you hear even a single droplet of rain, you just get traumatized because you don't know what will happen next. It's bad.
The situation is devastating. I'm sure people have seen the pictures of roads being destroyed, homes being destroyed, and the utter carnage that exists. AmaZulu play in South Africa's Premier Soccer League. They're seventh on the table at the moment. How have the floods disrupted the club, be it the training facility, fixtures, training grounds?
Fortunately, the fixture has not been affected. We played our game as normal this past weekend, where we played the KZN Derby against Maritzburg United, and AmaZulu won 1-0 via an on goal. And this is the second successive win against relegation-threatened clubs in the last 2 weeks. And that is a huge achievement for us. It's also caretaker coach Brendan Schutter's second win in a row. And he celebrated his birthday on Friday, and we won on Saturday, which was a nice birthday present for him, and we are very happy for him. So far, so good under Brendan Schutter, and indeed, the future looks bright. Our mission and our goal is to finish the season in the top four. We are now seventh on the log, as you did mention, and we are getting closer and closer to the top four, and we are very happy with that.
Sandile Zungu,
I am
your
talking
owner.
to you now live from Moses Mabhida Stadium. The damage to the pitch, you can see now it's really damaged and muddy and everything. But the officials from eThekwini municipality are here to take care of the situation before the next game, which will be played here in the coming weeks.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you there, but I know Sandile Zungu, your owner, your chairman, has very optimistic goals for the club. So top four position certainly would be something to, cherish after some of the challenges this season. But we're here, we're talking about the natural disaster. I think this is a good time to maybe reflect on how AmaZulu, the club, are channeling their energy in supporting people, because AmaZulu has one of the biggest fan bases in South Africa, and particularly the stronghold of KZN.
Absolutely. AmaZulu is a big club in South Africa. It's actually the oldest football club in South Africa. We were founded in the year 1932 and will be celebrating our centenary in the year 2032. That makes us 90 years old now. This is our 90th anniversary. That means Usuthu is really, or Usuthu is our nickname. So AmaZulu, also known as Usuthu, celebrates 100 years in the year 2032. We are the oldest club in South Africa, the oldest football club in the DStv Premiership, and we have a very rich history in the country and internationally. So it was important for us to be seen to be doing something, especially at this time where our people in KwaZulu-Natal mostly and also in eThekwini were affected by these floods. So AmaZulu, with our partners, Spar Supermarket, have organized an initiative whereby we visit the different communities that have been impacted by the floods, and we donate relief items, which include food parcels, blankets, items of clothing, and other essentials. We started that drive last week, and we will continue right through this week. We feel as AmaZulu that it's important to be there for our people in their time of need, not only when we celebrate, because really AmaZulu is a caring club. We are a club that espouses and believes in the principle of Ubuntu. That is why we are doing what we are doing.
That's brilliant that the club and your partner Spa have been able to do some work in the community. What are some of the items or goods that you find people need the most right about now?
Right about now, people need water, food, items of clothing. Some people, Zayn, have lost everything. Everything. Entire houses have been washed away, and people have been left with only what they are wearing. So they don't have anything. No clothes, no shoes, no food, no nothing. So they need anything and everything that they can find. So that's why we have organized food, blankets, clothes, etc., etc. And we have been able to go and interact with some members of the public that have been affected and also hand out these items. And that was hampered over the weekend by the severe weather again, because we did experience some rains over the weekend again. But we will continue with our exercise this week. We, as you can see, it's nice and sunny today, and we hope that this rain will not be coming back this week.
And Phumlani, as we round up the interview, which are some of the communities you've gone into, or the areas, if you don't mind me asking?
We decided to focus on the Ink area. The Ink area is Inanda, Ntuzuma, and KwaMashu. That is in the north of Durban. We were there on Thursday. We will be going back there again tomorrow, and I believe the day. But we are going to different places in the Ink area. We have identified a few centers that house people who have been displaced, and some affected families that have lost family members and have lost their goods and everything. It's not to say that the Inanda, Tuzuma, and KwaMashu area is the only area that was affected. Geez, this thing affected almost the entire eThekwini metro, Durban North, Umhlanga, Umdloti, Umlazi, Clement, everywhere really. And even outside of Durban, the Ilembe district, some places in Watuguza, you have bridges collapsed, roads washed away, people's houses destroyed, and some other public infrastructure, as well as things like, cell phone network providers. Their infrastructure also damaged. In the last few days, it's been difficult even to make phone calls, because the infrastructure of these telephone or cell phone network providers was affected. Some communities still don't have water a week later. Imagine 7-8 days without water, some without electricity because public infrastructure was damaged. We've never seen anything like this, and we really do hope this is the last time we experience this. Our President Cyril Ramaphosa declared a state of national disaster last night when he addressed the nation, which will then make it easier for national government departments to dispatch help to the province of KwaZulu-Natal and other parts of the country that have been affected by this disaster. And we hope that the help will reach the right people and people that need it the most.
Thank you, Phumlani. And this weekend, if I'm correct, the club has a big game against Royal AM, a local rival, a team that are performing really well in the PSL. Obviously, football is secondary, but two teams from KwaZulu-Natal playing, two teams from Durban playing. I mean, how can you guys on the field help uplift the spirits of people out there who are suffering at the moment?
No, certainly. This is a very big game. The Durban Derby, AmaZulu against Royal AM, taking place this weekend on Saturday, the 24th, at Chatsworth Stadium, just south of Durban. It is one of the most anticipated game for this weekend. AmaZulu have a huge following in this country, the oldest club in South Africa. Royal AM is new in the PSL and they are on fire. They are, I believe, second on the log currently, and they are newcomers and they are doing really well, which is good for the city of Durban. We love to see that, but we have been in the game for a long time. We want to show them who the real McCoy is, who rules the city of Durban, and they're gonna get a trapping come Sunday.
Well, you heard it here first from Phumlani, so thank you for joining us today. We certainly wish you and the people of KwaZulu-Natal all the best as the recovery begins. And of course, AmaZulu plays its role in helping communities out. For those of you listening to our podcast, feel free to get in touch on our social media accounts. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at OTW_podcast. But for now, though, we wish you farewell. Thank you again, Phumlani, for joining us on the podcast. Salagashle to you and to those listening out there.
Thank you so very much. Usuthu.